archaeological dig, the construction site or whatever they called it.
Not cathedral. Whatever it is. You go through the hole. You find the monitor lady. She gets viciously murdered. And her corpse just left there hanging out in space. You fight those new things. What'd you call them? The Screebs? The Scribe? Something or others? You make your way up. That one lady hands you your ass. The Harbinger, as she called herself. And then the first spire comes up. Right? You fight your way through it. You get to the spire, go up. You basically go through an empty spire and then meet another of the little ghost things. You fight him. You fucking yeet out the spire. Dude catches you. He gets shot down because apparently he can't see giant cannons. And then I destroyed the first cannon. That's where I'm at.
You didn't destroy the other two?
No, I had to stop to come record with you.
Spoiler: there's an achievement if you destroy all 3 cannons in under 20 minutes. Sorry.
Well, that's not gonna fucking happen.
I accidentally got it.
All right, well, I won't be getting it, because, you know. All right, we're done recording.
Unless it's 20 minutes in-game, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be 20 minutes in-game.
Whatever. I should have recorded it through the Xbox, but I saved these dudes. One of them followed me. The other one's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, whatever.
It's so random, right?
So he's going with me towards the first encampment of the cannon, or the anti-aircraft cannon, and there's one of those little not warthogs. What's the ATV one? Mongoose. Yeah. So I jump on. He yells shotgun. Hilarious because he's holding a shotgun. Made me laugh. Drove through. Ran over a dude. Because hilarious. I got an achievement for using a banshee. A banshee? Ghost.
Ghost is the ground one. Ghost is the ground one. Banshee is the flying one.
Ghost. I got an achievement for killing a dude by running into him, like boosting into him.
Yeah.
I was like,
nice.
Hell yeah. Anyways, so I took the dude out, ran him over, almost got stuck on a log, because why not? Turned around, the dude shotgunned a dude from like far away, and I was like, can I have your shotgun? Because
I shotgunned you shit from so far away.
Yeah. And then we're going, and there's a dude, a grunt on the edge of this cliff. I could tell it's the edge of the cliff. So I zoomed with the mongoose, and I just fucking jettisoned. I jumped off, and the dude stayed on, right? It took the grunt out and then yeeted off the cliff. And I was like, well, that guy's dead as shit. I'm sorry. I forgot you were there. So I jumped down, I start killing things, and I hear something, and I was like, what are they shooting at? He's alive. And he just runs in, and I was like, what are you dead?
Yeah.
You survived me yeeting you off a cliff on the mongoose just to run headlong into and just get murdered. I was like, all right, man.
Yes.
That's cool. So hunters are back.
Yeah. Yeah. And they throw 2 of you. They throw 2 of them at you every time you encounter one.
I was like, man, they are coupled up. I was like, this is not good.
And they're just as much a pain in the ass as they are in every other game.
Yeah, luckily I had a battle rifle and the assault rifle, so I was able to get behind those little, they're not pillars, whatever those things are, and like kind of pop them. And then I was using the explodey barrels to blow them up. And then like I was just shooting them in the neck, and I stuck a grenade one of them right in the dick. And he was very upset when it went off. Which, I mean, obviously, like, he's going to be. He started charging me. I was like, not good, not good, not good, not good. And so I threw a barrel at him and killed him. And I was like, or no, I shot a barrel behind him and it blew him up. And I was like, thank the Lord. He was real angry after I blew his dick off with the plasma grenade.
Charge your ass.
Dude, yeah. And the other guy was like, he's like, nah. He was like, nah, I'm just going to wander around and shoot green shit at you. I was like, all right, dude, that's cool. So I start shooting him in his knees or his exposed legs. And he got all mad. And then he's like, I was like, I'm going to see what happens when I hook shot him. So I hook shot him. And for some reason, it like knocks their shield to the ground and you go towards the shield. And I was like, all right. And I elbowed him and somehow I went backwards. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Shooty. Dead. I was like, wow. Okay. That was different.
Because you're talking about the two hunters that were under the spire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two more that you encounter. Well, there's more that you encounter later on. There's another group that you encounter. I can't even remember what I was doing. I was running around today doing all the side stuff, and I ran into two more, and it was such a small area to fight them in that I died so many times because they would just charge me. Luckily, they were stuck. The game seemed to be like, no, you can't move beyond this point here. Like, this area here you can't move into. You can't move beyond that. So, luckily, I was able to, like, move beyond that myself and, like, slowly pick them off from a distance. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was awful. I literally ran out of bullets, and I just started having to, like, gas tank, throw. Where's another one? There, throw. Yeah. Yeah, it was awful.
Good times.
But I have noticed that myself with the Marines. There are some Marines that will follow you to the end of the earth, and there will be other ones that are just like, peace out, man. You got this. You got this, Chief. I'm gonna chill out here. Even guys that I've had follow me and take out. There's a point where you come to where you have these like gateways that you have to get through, and you can take down the gateways and whatnot, and then it frees the area for the Marines to freely travel through. I had this small group of Marines follow me in there. One of them survived this ordeal, and I was like, cool, I'm going to take an elevator up to the thing that's up there. That's just another like tower thing. It's not a story thing. It's just a ancillary thing. And I'm like, cool. I'm waiting for the Marine to hop on the elevator. And he's just like, nah, man, I'm good.
Nah.
Like, what?
Nah.
I was like, you have a rocket launcher. We could go wreck shop up there. Nah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, one of them I was, I think it was, oh, I know it was. I was like, I'm just going to go do the underground thing, right?
Yep.
So I can progress the story, because obviously you have to leave that area. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, long day, apparently. So I was I started at an FOB, because that's, the only real way to save the game. Because there's, like, random checkpoints.
Yeah, it checkpoints, like, every 10 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, so just to make sure before I close and exit and make sure it's not going to fucking, like, shit on my game, I usually fast travel to an FOB. We'll see what happens now.
Fair enough, because a lot of times that, obviously we're playing on two different systems, and your system seems to have a reported issue with this game. Mine doesn't seem to have that issue, but if I leave the game, a lot of times, if I just leave it running in the background, and then I come back to it, it'll be like, no, man, you haven't been on, you're disconnected from the online services, so you can't play. And so it'll kick me out to the online. It'll kick me out to the menu system. I have to wait for it to say that I actually own the game, because it'll sit there and be like, no, you have to buy the game. I'm like, no, I have Game Pass. No, you have to buy the game. Wait for it. And they'll finally be like, oh, you own the game. I'm like, cool. Yeah, I know. I'll be able to log back in, and then it'll kick me back to the nearest FOB anyway.
That's good.
So, whatever. Yeah.
So I started at the FOB. It's weird because it saved the guns I had, which obviously, I mean, it should if it's saving at that point, you know. So I was like, well, I don't want this shotgun that has 3 bullets, and this. I think I just had the assault rifle. Oh no, I had a energy weapon of some sort, and it was like almost depleted. It's like I'm gonna stock up. So I grabbed a auto rifle and that new gun, which I forget the name of it now. I was like, oh, I'll go, and I was like, I'll just grab these fucking dudes right at the FOB, and I'll take them with me because it's right there, like the underground thing's right there. So I go, and then there's like at the bottom of the hill, there's like a bunch more Marines just like chilling, and I was like, what are y'all doing down here? Whatever. So I just gathered them, and there's like 5 of us or whatever, and we're rolling down to the thing. And for some reason, I am missing 2 of the banished data file things, but the little boss area thing is closed up now. I was like, well, okay. I searched around. I couldn't really find them. I was like, whatever. It's a end-game bullshit thing anyways. So I'll just go. And there's like snipers around, so I kill everybody. And we're getting close to the entrance, and I hear one of the Marines go, "You got this, Chief!" And I look behind me, and they're all just standing there. Like,
yep.
I was like, bro, what? I was like, all right. So then I did the cutscene, or you walk into it, and you drop down, and like you activate the thing, and it's a cutscene, and boom, you're out. And I was like, I waited all that time I walked with you to get you here, and all you did is watch me kill a bunch of snipers, and then just be like, give me, like, you know, a pat on the ass and have a good day, Chief. I'm like,
yep.
All right. Cool, bro. Cool,
right?
Cool.
It would be cool if they followed you into those types of places, but they don't.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
But it would be cool if they followed you in. I can understand, like, not following you into the mission areas like that.
Story mission stuff.
Story missions. But just the pure fact that they just don't follow you everywhere in the open world either. Like, I've had times where I've started in the FOB, and there's like 5 or 6 Marines just wandering around, and I've been like, okay, I finally unlocked the Scorpion, and so I hop into that. I know it has a gunner position, and I'm just like, hey, I roll up to a guy, and I'd be like, hey, hop in the gunner position. Hey. And he just is like, same thing. You got this, Chief, and just walks away, and I'll roll up to the next person. Hey, get in the gunner seat. Come on, let's go. But then there's other times where I hop into the game, hop into the Scorpion, start driving away. One guy just shouts, I got the gunner spot, and jumps in, and then I've got 3 or 4 other guys just running behind me, you know, following me into the next place. And I'm like, I don't understand what makes them want to follow you and what doesn't make them want to follow you. I don't understand what that disconnect is.
Yep, no idea.
I'm not much further than you, actually. You have a rather challenging part up ahead right now when you destroy all those the 3
anti-aircraft cannons.
Anti-aircraft guns. You'll have a boss battle that was a pain in the ass until I found out how to cheese it. Then it was super easy.
Oh, fun. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But once you finish that, because I remember I was telling you, I think last time or some other time that we were hanging out, that it seemed like I hit that mission point and then the game just forgot about doing FOBs and stuff like that. It just seemed to be like, you're in this part of the world now. Now you're in this part of the world. Now you're in this part of the world. It goes back to open world after that, where you're doing FOBs again, where you're wandering around, where you're doing stuff. I haven't run into, like, there are Marines over there to save, but everything else is there as far as, like, high-value targets and the Mjolnir armor caches, which, by the way, I think one of them was bugged for me, because last night I logged on, I played, and one of the last things I wanted to do was pick up this Mjolnir armor. and I go to the point that it's supposed to be at, and there's nothing there. And so I'm looking around and I see this, like, you know, when you get into those areas, you usually see like boxes and stuff and things that you would that might be like a cache or something there. And there's nothing there. I spent like 5 or 10 minutes like slingshot, you know, just shotting around to try and find this thing, and I finally gave up. When I log on today, and I'm like, well, I'm going to take a second look for that thing before I leave the area. Sure enough, it was right there in that little cache area, but it wasn't there last night. What the fuck? It was super annoying. Yeah.
I ran into one. I could have swore it was one of the armor, you know, unlocks or whatever, the cosmetic ones. I'm staring at this box and I can't open it. And I was like, maybe I'm just high and I haven't played for a few days, so maybe I'm wrong about what this looks like. And then I went and I found one, and it looked exactly the same. And I was like, okay, all right, whatever. I was like, it don't matter to me. I got it. That's cool.
Yeah.
There's something else I was gonna bring up too, and I don't remember what it was.
About the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else, because obviously I'm a little bit further than you, so I don't want to really spoil anything. Did you run across any of the dolls yet? Apparently there's a ton of them on every mountain peak.
No, I was gonna go. There was this one, and I was trying to get through the second because I'm right at the second anti-aircraft gun before I had to stop and come in here and record. But I was trying to get to that one, and there's this peak, and I was like, I really want to go up there and see if one of these weird dolls is up here, and then shoot it in its dumb doll face. But I didn't. I was like, I have to stop playing. I have to stop and go record my buddy.
That is the area where I saw the doll.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to go, because you mentioned that, so I was like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but I was watching a thing about. First off, I was watching a thing about Easter eggs in the game. I think it was Easter Egg Hunter YouTube channel. It was either that or Captain Excellent. I can't remember which one it was, but they did a whole thing on Easter eggs on Halo. None of them were spoilers or anything, but they showed a bunch of those dolls, but not the one that I had seen, and a bunch of other stuff. It was cool to watch. I definitely suggest going and watching that just to see some of the stuff. Apparently, like during the early showing of the game, there was a scene where one of the grunts gets up close and personal with the chief, and people made like a bunch of memes out of it, calling him Craig and stuff. So they've made him like a rock star in the game. Apparently, there's an area that you can go to and find like a poster of tour dates around the Halo, that he's going to different FOBs and, you know, being a rock star. And he's also got an album. You can find an album that he's made, and it has a bunch of like funny songs on the title on the back of it.
That's pretty funny.
So I definitely say go and watch that. I also watched a thing today because I was bored about the story in between the Halo 5 and this one, and it pretty much leads up. It talks, apparently a lot of some of the story comes from the books, but there is a gap in between the final story, one of the books, or Halo Wars, and this game that they have yet to explain in any of the lore. So maybe it does explain it more in this game. I know I've gotten some audio stuff that has explained a little bit, and there's a little bit of story stuff that you'll run into a little bit later that'll start to fill in that gap. But I know last time we talked about like what is the story in between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. Apparently they themselves haven't fully explained it yet either.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Or we could ask Taj. Apparently Taj completed the whole game in like a couple of days.
Well, he has no life, so
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he sent that text. I was like, well, you ain't done. Like, oh, I beat the story. Did you though? Did you beat it on Child's Play, on Training Wheel mode?
Yeah, I beat it well, I haven't beat it yet. I'm playing it myself on normal because I don't do that thing where I play on legendary anymore because I don't want to be frustrated with the game. I just want to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I think I beat Halo 1 and 2 on legendary, and I just obviously as I've grown older, I don't have time for doing stuff like that anymore. So even normal right now, goddamn, there's some difficult sections of this game on normal, and I wouldn't want to try and play them on legendary. But apparently there is a legendary ending to the game. So as soon as I beat the game, I'm going to go hop on YouTube and watch the legendary ending because I have no desire to try and complete that myself. I'm going to go...
strangle your dog?
Hold on. Okay, I think she's done.
Okay, all right. Thanks for speaking up, Lyra.
Yeah, right? She doesn't usually bark, but when she does, it's like, Jesus Christ, dog. Go lock her outside for a few minutes. I'm not going to do that. That'd be cruel. I'm not that type of person.
It is cold outside, so yeah, it would be...
It is fucking freezing cold outside.
Not a mean.
God.
I don't
remember. If it rained right now, it would snow.
Yeah, it's...
Well, maybe not right now, but like earlier. It was 37 fucking degrees this morning.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, I know. I was outside in it.
Well, that's right. You worked this morning.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Paige over here stealing coins from me. It's messed up. I don't remember what I was going to say to you. I was going to ask you a question, but I don't remember what it was now. I got distracted by shiny objects and whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Halo, it's fun. Last thing I'll say about it before we move on to other stuff. I don't know what that other stuff is yet, but whatever. I'm wondering if they're gonna expand on this open worldness when later on, because obviously people are beating the campaign and it has a very big multiplayer following and blah blah blah. Maybe they'll release the battle royale mode. Maybe they won't release one. Who knows? But I'm wondering what they're gonna do going forward. The game came out after delays, which, you know what, I kind of feel they did all right with delaying it as much as they did, because I think the game, for the most part, runs pretty well. I mean, yeah, there's some, weird little glitchy things, like you fucking have a submarine tank, terrestrial submarine tank, no less. Little things like that, whatever. But for the most part, the game pretty much runs, as far as I know, really well. Little glitches, whatever, it's gonna happen. But the one thing though is, I really wish we could have played co-op.
That's one of the most frustrating things about the game, is that every time you log into the game, it constantly reminds you, hey man, everyone that you play with has to have the same game as you. Cool, start campaign. Cool, all right, we're gonna count down for everybody in the game. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's jam. And it's like, cool. I really like how you set the game up to obviously be co-op, but somehow that wasn't ready yet.
Yeah. I honestly, and I don't know, I haven't talked to anybody or looked into it. I wonder if it has to do with cross play, but also cross platform. So like, playing PC and console, but also generation of consoles, like you and I playing, because there was an issue with, what game was it? Gears 5, I think was when they updated Gears 5 to the Series S, Series X. people were reporting issues where they couldn't continue a co-op, like they couldn't drop, like nobody could drop into a game either way. I think it was Gears 5 that it was. So I'm wondering if they had some of the same issues, or if it's even a console to PC thing. That's the only thing I can think of, because the game seems to be set up for it. I mean, other than an option of not being able to choose co-op, and you can see your friends from the main menu, like who's on, who's playing Halo. And I'm like, well, clearly, you told us you're gonna have it. I'm just, I just wish we could play it that way. But it doesn't. It's not really bothering me that I can't do it. I just would have wish I could do that, because it'd be pretty fun. I think it'd be fun because the game's pretty. The open world, or pseudo open world, as some people have called it, lends itself really well to kind of like just doing whatever you want. Like, it's like, and it's funny because like it feels like Combat Evolved at the beginning of Combat Evolved, when you're on the Halo for the first time and you're kind of wandering, and you have that time. And really, going back and playing Halo, if you played Combat Evolved, you didn't have freedom. It just felt like you did, because like you could enter an area from like over here or over here. And it was cool. That was like cool, you know what I mean? And this way, you have the traversal and very, very open environment you can run through. But it would be cool to like, and when they say co-op, is it just 2 people?
I would hope it to be a full 4 people.
Because if it's 4 people, this shit's gonna get mad, like give me madness. You know what I mean? Like that shit's gonna be like stupid fun. Just, I mean, running up on a warthog or on a scorpion with multiple people, just firing off rockets or the javelin gun or whatever it is, and I'm like, yeah, dude, let's punch some aliens in the face, like with 4 fists, though.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
You just all 4 sit there and grapple the same person, and you just fucking hit them up from all 4 sides.
Yep, just like fucking what's the Hot Shots Part 2 where they hit that guy with the and his head goes blah blah. But yeah, no, it's fun. I like the open worldness. Obviously, the the campaign stuff or story stuff is very linear. It's because, I mean, obviously that's like you can't really have open world decisions. We're like, oh, I'm just gonna go over here now. We're like, no, like we need you to stay focused and go do
right.
this.
You are trapped into doing this right now. You have chosen to do the mission. So you're going to do the mission. You're not going to, like, start the mission and then just, like, I'm going to go fuck off over here for a little while. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, every little base or FOB that I've gone to so far is varied enough to feel different. One's flat on the ground, one has underground stuff, one has underground stuff in a lift, and, one's a big old tower that I still can't get to the top of because I don't have a flying vehicle. And the dude, you can't just take the dude and have him bring you up there, which is weird. And I can't grapple that high. But anyways, it's like the open worldness is pretty cool. I do just wonder what's gonna happen down the road. Like, are they just solely gonna focus on the multiplayer, or are we gonna get more experience in the campaign or co-op, or are we gonna are they gonna introduce like a grunt hunt mode? I made that name up just now off the top of my head. Or something like that, where it just, like, let's build an FOB, like a horde mode, right? Like build an FOB and then kill waves of bad guys as they come in and build up your base and try to get to wave 100 or whatever it happens to be. Something like that would be fun. But I'm just wondering what else they're going to do with it, because it seems this is obviously like a tentpole game for not just the newer systems, but just Game Pass and Xbox in general. So I'm hoping they do more than just focus on, multiplayer. Definitely do that. There's a whole world of people who play that, and I don't want them to take away from that, but I just want more of like what else can we do with the open world, with our friends or just in general? Like, can I other than replay the campaign on a higher difficulty with skulls active or whatever happens to be? So that's my only thought.
It's definitely something that I really do hope that when they do finally release the co-op, which I think they said was rumored to be at the beginning of season 2, which is in May, that they actually do something with it and include either more story missions or I don't know, something else. I suppose I wouldn't be too thrilled with like co-op, like little gameplay things like you're talking about, because those are very much like Gears of War has those types of things where you're just it's kind of a multiplayer, but it's not really a multiplayer type thing.
Yeah,
I'd really like them to do actually more story stuff with co-op, because if you just go, okay, we finally unlocked co-op, but it's only for the just replay the main missions, it's like, why? I'm already done playing the game.
Yeah.
Just give me more content. Apparently, if Taj has anything to go off of, if you just play through the story, it's only a couple of days worth of story. So, hopefully they can give us more content to play with, especially when they launch co-op. And I'm sure that they're going to be supporting multiplayer for the next year or so. Yeah. But I don't see them turning this game into something like Destiny, where it's what do they call Destiny? It's a something service game. I forgot.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
It's like, it's a continuous service game. This isn't a continuous service game, but I do hope that they at least give us some downloadable content later that will expand on things. Something kind of like maybe like The Division. They gave you a new area to go to to play through, a little bit more story co-op, stuff that you can actually do. So that's why it's something that I'd be hoping that they do, especially when they release co-op. Because if you just release co-op and you're like, okay, we released co-op, now you can play the main story again, but with other people, it's like, well, that's not a draw for me to go back and play the campaign again at all. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, it'd be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Is there any news that I wanted to talk about?
The only news that I ran across this week, because again, it seems like a very slow news week, at least for me. Well, I suppose there's actually 3 things I want to talk about, because 2 of them popped up today. The first one that I ran across, actually yesterday, I believe it was, comic book news. Apparently, Alex Ross, fantastic illustrator, but pretty much only does covers, right? He's never done a comic book, a whole book by himself, where he's done the writing, where he's done the art.
No.
Well, now he is. He's going to be doing a new Fantastic Four comic coming out this year.
That's why next year.
Next year. I meant, yeah.
That's why he posted. Okay, that makes sense. On Twitter. Was it Twitter? Hold on. You keep going with whatever you were saying.
But yeah, no. So it's going to be a graphic novel coming out next year. There wasn't a whole lot of information about it. I believe it's called Fantastic Four: Full Circle. He's going to be writing it and is illustrating it, which will be the first time that he's ever done both of those things for a comic. Published by Abrams Comic Arts in collaboration with Marvel Arts. There really wasn't a whole lot, like, that was pretty much the whole story. It goes into a little bit of, like, who is Alex Ross, because, unless you're a diehard comic book fan, you probably don't know really who he is, but you probably have seen some of his work somewhere, because it's very famous, very iconic artwork. But that was it. No, not even a release date. Just sometime next year, Fantastic Four: Full Circle. He's writing it. He's illustrating it. It's going to probably be awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, now I look at it and he has art thing up there like that.
Oh, I didn't even see art. There was no art to the article.
Yeah, whatever Abrams Books is. Because he had. Oh, this is what I was looking at. Oh, this says August 2022.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, this is what I saw earlier. What was this picture? Showing Joe a picture, so it's great for an audio podcast.
It's great for an audio podcast, but it is literally all the Fantastic Four, the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, but in Alex Ross style, the hyper-realistic, very gorgeous artwork of his.
Yeah, because he's been, like, last few days, he just drops, like, random art, like, every few hours, and it means almost nothing for the most part, but then, obviously, this news, there's quite a bit of Fantastic Four stuff on there, which is you know, that's cool. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what exactly it is, because it doesn't. It all it says is announcing Fantastic Four full circle, the first graphic novel written and illustrated by Alex Ross, coming August 2022. Read the full story here. You click on the thing. It's gonna load this time. Okay, I made my ass out of myself. I was like, clicked on the link, it didn't do shit, but it brought me to comicbook.com now. It might be the same thing you were reading.
No, mine was not from comicbook.com. It was from, I put it away already because there was nothing else to that article. Kirk Us Reviews?
I don't know what you just said, little man, but I think it's offensive in some countries.
Yeah, that article was literally just like, hey, Alex Ross is doing a graphic novel by himself, art and writing. It's the first time he's ever done it. Anyway, this is who Alex Ross is. And that was it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so it says here, legendary comic creator Alex Ross is writing and illustrating his first graphic novel titled Fantastic Four Full Circle. The graphic novel goes on sale August 2nd, 2022, and is the first of the Marvel Arts collaboration between Marvel Comics and Abrams Comic Arts. Fantastic Four First Circle would feature a large format that differentiates it from a standard graphic novel size in order to fully showcase Ross's stunning artwork. Hell yes. That's awesome. While mirroring the 1980s Marvel graphic novels format, the Fantastic Four's origin story will also be retold in full-color, painted fold-out poster. Ross's longtime editor, Charles Kochman, I guess is how you say that, editorial director of Abrams Comic Arts, which is a terrible name, will edit Fantastic Four Full Circle alongside executive producer Tom Brevoort, Marvel VP of Publishing. And Alex was quoted as saying, "This is the Fantastic Four story I've been wanting to tell for years, and visually it is one of the greatest artistic experiments I have attempted. I'm excited to share this work with everyone as it unites the two great publishing forces of Marvel and Abrams Comic Arts in a bold new collaboration." And then basically talks about, Jesus. It's a quote from Kochman. It says, "Alex and I have been working together for close to 30 years. When I was an editor at DC Comics and hired him to paint his very first comic book cover back in 1993 before Marvel's was published. In Fantastic Four Full Circle, Alex revisits the classic Stan Lee, Jack Kirby comic from the 1960s and introduces the storyline for a new generation of readers." There you go.
Cool. Anyway, while you were looking that up, I was looking up Abrams Comics Arts because I kept wondering if there is actually a pretty big company called Abrams Books, which does which I've heard of before, but I've never really looked at. But abramsbooks.com, yeah, that's Abrams Comic Arts. They do their own like comic books and stuff.
It's interesting. So I showed you the what looks to be a cover of it because it says Fantastic Four Full Circle by Alex Ross. So I'm guessing that's what it cover is. And again, it's this picture here. And I'll post these on the website too, so if anybody wants to see what the hell we're talking about, you can see what it is without having to Google or whatever. And then this is an interior page. All it says is photo, copyright 2021 Marvel. And it doesn't, there's a blurb, blah, 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 which is, I will read to you in a minute, which is the synopsis for the selling of the book. This is how it says: Fantastic Four Full Circle by Alex Ross, Abrams Comics Arts, August 2020 or 2022. It's going to cost $25, hardcover with jacket, 64 pages, 8.5 by 11, which is obviously the size of the book itself. Has an ISBN number, which you can use to order the book through your retailer. Says it's a rainy night in Manhattan, and not a creature is stirring except for Ben Grimm. When an intruder suddenly appears inside the Baxter Building, the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm Richards, the Human Torch, Johnny Storm, and the Thing, Ben Grimm, find themselves surrounded by a swarm of invading parasites. These carrion creatures, composed of negative energy, come to Earth using a human host as a delivery system, but for what purpose, and who is behind this ultimate invasion? The Fantastic Four has no choice but to journey into the negative zone, an alien universe composed entirely of antimatter, risking not just their lives, or not just their own lives, but the fate of the cosmos. And then they show this picture, which looks to be interior art.
Wow.
So that is the synopsis given by the companies for selling of the book. Most likely through Diamond and all those different groups that they sell them through. So there's your synopsis. That's what it's about. And the art looks like Alex is invoking his inner Jack Kirby, to tell you the truth, because it's definitely his style, but very Jack Kirby colored, and just the look of it is very Kirby-esque for the design of things. So very interesting to see what happens there.
That's cool.
It's pretty rad, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Right. Whenever we get back to the comic shop.
Yep, whatever that happens to be.
Gotta put that on over.
Hopefully it'll be before August of next year.
Seriously, right?
If life would just calm the fuck down.
Right?
Enhance.
So the other two things that I had for today, myself, are a couple of trailers that I know I posted to everybody this morning. Stuff that I didn't even know was coming out. You probably did. The first one we'll talk about because I think you did actually see the trailer for that one. It's the Nicolas Cage movie. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was called.
The Unbearable Weight of Talent? Is that what it was? Hold on.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Weight of Massive Talent. It literally popped up on as a YouTube ad, and I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting. I'll let it play through because it's a Nic Cage movie, and let's just see how crazy and zany Nic Cage is going to go." Well, it's an ad, well, it's a movie, I should say, about Nic Cage playing Nic Cage, doing Nic Cage stuff, and so it is the most Nic Cage movie I've ever seen a trailer for. I'm so fucking sold in this thing. Essentially, it's him as he is right now, which is an actor who kind of just takes roles because he doesn't really have money anymore. And he takes up a request, I guess, from a fan, played by Pedro Pascal, to attend a party. and hilarity ensues, essentially. There's not much more about it that I know of from the
the synopsis.
from the trailer.
First off, the poster is awesome looking, but the synopsis says Nicolas Cage begrudgingly accepts a $1 million offer to attend the birthday of a billionaire superfan. When things take a wild turn, Nick is forced to become a version of some of his most iconic and beloved characters in order to extricate his wife and daughter from the fan who is notorious drug lord.
That's so fantastic.
Yep. Nicolas Cage as Nic Cage, a fictionalized version of himself who feels unfulfilled. Cage also portrays Nicky, a figment of Cage's imagination, and resembles a younger version of Cage. What?
That's so fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're right, that poster is trippy.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. It is just. I mean, it's when I first. So I actually saw this the other day too, and I forgot to even post it because I didn't watch it. I saw it, and then I was gonna post it after I watched it, and I never ended up watching it because work and all. But I was like, I read not that synopsis, but I read the article. It was on something. It might have been Slash Film or something, but they were like talking about like what Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage or Nic Cage, and I was like, is this one of those? What is that JCVD?
Yeah,
movie?
JCVD movie. Yeah.
And I'm like, but like Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage characters, and I was like, hell yes. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Please give me more of that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll post that trailer and the poster on the website so y'all can go look at it whenever you want.
When does that come out? It just says 2022. Is that no other tentative date? I don't see anything here on IMDb. It just says 2022. Release date, April 22nd, 2022. So sometime this year.
I literally just looked at it. I was about to say that out loud, and you said it. So
Gotcha. Beat you to it. The only other question I would have is whether it's being released for streaming and theaters, or is it just a theater thing? I don't see that information anywhere here either. Oh, there's a website, nickcage.movie. Oh, that leads you to nowhere. Don't go there.
Go in there now!
Literally goes nowhere, so don't go there.
Go in there now! Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything anywhere saying that it's going to be release. Film is theatrical release, April 22nd, 2022, according to Wikipedia.
Well, it's
It was originally going to be released this year. Originally, it was set to release March 19th, 2021. Where did this movie come from then?
There's an official website.
Yeah, isn't it? Is it nickcage.movie?
Yeah.
I click on it. And it goes to a 404 not found page.
That's the website. Yeah, it's Nic Cage. Oh, hold on. nickcage.movie. They spell Nick wrong. It's Nick Cage, not Nick as in Nick. That's interesting. But yeah, it's on there. It says only in theaters April 22nd. It has a thing to save to calendar. You can watch the trailer, and then it has the poster, the synopsis I just read, who else is in it, who wrote it, who directed it, and then social wall, and it's buzz about the movie, which is just a bunch of people tweeting about it, apparently.
Fair enough. Anyway, looks hilarious. I can't wait to see it. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but it's definitely a movie that I do want to watch, at least on streaming. Anyway, the other movie that I ran across today, again, just sitting there watching YouTube, ad comes up. It's called Lost City. It looks like an action adventure kind of Indiana Jones movie. So I'm sitting there watching the trailer because I know you haven't watched it yet, and it's literally just like, it looks like an action adventure Indiana Jones, old school The Mummy type of movie to it. But it stars Channing Tatum as the main character, and he's doing action adventure stuff. And I'm like, I don't really care for him, but I do like this style of movie. Maybe I'll catch it on streaming, sometime. But then it suddenly cuts to Sandra Bullock's character. She's actually writing the book. So it's not really a movie about his character, or whatever his character's name. It's a movie about her writing that series of books that are like these romance, like action adventure romance books. And so that's what she's trying to do right now, trying to write this book called The Lost City of D. So apparently, according to the trailer, she gets kidnapped by Daniel Radcliffe's character, who is an eccentric billionaire, whatever it was, who thinks that she knows where apparently the Lost City is a real place.
Of course it is.
And he thinks that she knows how to actually find it. So he kidnaps her to go find the actual Lost City. And then Channing Tatum's character, who in real life of the movie is actually just the model for the cover, but he's so invested in being the model for the cover that he thinks, she's in trouble. I need to prove that I'm not just some pretty face and go save her. And so I'm like, okay, I'm watching this. This sounds kind of funny. We're getting into the comedy area where, admittedly Channing Tatum can do comedy fairly well. But what absolutely sold me on this movie, again, I probably won't go see it in theaters, but I definitely want to see it on streaming, is that they're both kidnapped, and suddenly Brad Pitt comes flipping over a fence and starts kicking people's asses. He's got this long flowing hair that's tied up into a half bun, and he's got this commando vest on, and he's actually there to save them both. He plays some sort of commando that was sent in to actually go save her. And just from that scene alone, I was like, Brad Pitt's in this movie and it's a comedy. I'm sold. I'm sold on this. I definitely suggest go watching the trailer. It might not be something that you would like, but it's definitely something that I would probably like, especially if you have Brad Pitt in a comedy playing a commando. I think it'll be, hopefully it'll be fucking hilarious. It's called The Lost City. Again, it comes out March 25th of this coming year, 2022. I actually don't know when this one as well. I don't know if it'll be streaming or if it'll be just theaters. Let's see if Wikipedia has my answers.
Paramount Pictures release. Ba, ba, ba.
Just says
in October 2021, it was announced that the film The Lost City of D had been retitled The Lost. Oh, that's this movie.
The Lost City, yeah. Because Lost City of D is the name of the book that she was writing in the movie, but it's called The Lost City. I can only assume that they did a name change because it kind of is too close to The Lost City of Z.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember hearing about this movie. I didn't know Brad Pitt was in it. I don't remember much about it. I think I checked out when I saw it had Channing Tatum in it.
And I was about to do the same thing as well, but I saw Daniel Radcliffe in it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to let this play out for a little bit, and then fucking Brad Pitt just comes flipping over a fence, all commando style, and just killing everybody. I was like, that okay. Okay. I want to see more of that. And I will admit, I'm going to give Channing Tatum a chance here because he can do comedy fairly well.
I've never watched any of the 21 or the Jump Street movies as they're known.
The Jump Street movies, yeah.
Mainly because they look like trash to me. But like he's funny in like many things. What was that one oh my god, what was the name of that fucking movie? Where he's one of the
Jupiter's Legacy. That was a comedy, right?
Which one?
Jupiter's Legacy? Jupiter's Ascension. Ascension.
That movie's fucking trash. You should be ashamed of yourself even thinking about that. No, it came out a couple years ago. I believe.
I'm trying to look up his IMDb page, but IMDb is being very slow right now for some reason.
He was really funny in Hail Caesar, and he was extremely funny in Logan Lucky, which is the movie I was trying to think of.
Yes, Logan Lucky was fantastic. Yeah.
He was obviously funny as Superman in the Lego movies. Because it's voicing, so it's not like he was doing a whole lot. And he was actually pretty cool in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, because he played the American agent, or American Kingsman, essentially. And Free Guy was a cameo. He's pretty funny in that too. So, I mean, it's not like I'm fucking hoping for Magic Mike 3 to be, a great movie. But he is, in the things I've seen him in, he's pretty funny. He can be pretty good, especially because as of lately, like things like Free Guy, he's more making fun of himself than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I will watch this trailer because what's funny, actually, you say when you're describing what you saw in the trailer, and again, I haven't watched it yet, so I'm going by what you're saying, and then I'm reading the premise on Wikipedia, and I'm like, all right, I see where this is going, but if I were to read this premise and then watch the trailer, which I'm going to do, obviously, I think I might be confused on what this premise was trying to sell me on, because it states a reclusive romance novelist on a book tour with her cover model gets swept into a kidnapping attempt that lands them both in a cutthroat jungle adventure.
And that's it is an apt that is a description that could be used for this movie. It definitely is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it doesn't do it justice, honestly.
The three characters' names that are given, so it lists Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, Patty Harrison, Oscar Nunez, Divine Joy Randolph. That's a person's name, and Brad Pitt. I don't know who Divine Joy Randolph is. I'll have to look that up because I don't know if it's a male or female or they or what. But the three character names given: Sandra Bullock plays Loretta Sage. Great romance novelist name. That's so great. Channing Tatum plays Alan. So great. And Daniel Radcliffe plays Fairfax. That's it. That's all it has in there. And that just is like you had me when you said Daniel Radcliffe plays like this, like the villain,
billionaire that kidnaps her looking for the lost city.
Yeah, it makes me laugh because like Daniel Radcliffe being a villain is probably going to be just Ham City, and then having Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's probably like a minor role in it. He's like The Rock in the Reno 911 movie. But
yeah,
you have me sold. I may even see it in theaters, depending on how I feel after I see the trailer. It's interesting though. So it's from two dudes that have apparently never directed a whole lot of things, because when you look at their references, they don't have much of anything. They have weird things and not. The Young Nee brothers, moved to New York City as a young adult, which is weird because as a young adult, not a young adults, but whatever, to pursue acting, which entailed day work on such television projects as Law and Order and Sex and the City.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. So I don't know. I'll have to do other research on that to see who the hell that they are.
So they went from acting to directing.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this collaborative history. They have a bunch. There's a bunch of stuff like festival stuff. Looks like short films or whatever. Again, I'll have to look it up and see. And then there's a thing says they're also featured in filmmakers' 25 New Faces of Independent Film in 2006.
Quite a while ago.
Okay. And then on February 13th, 2019, it was reported that principal photography on the Masters of the Universe film will begin mid-July of 2019 in Prague and will be directed by Aaron and Adam Nee. However, as of spring 2021, the film still had not yet gone into production. So, I don't know if they're doing that movie or not, so I didn't look at that. But then I looked at who wrote the movie, who is Seth Gordon, and Seth Gordon has done quite a few things. I say quite a few things. He's done a few things. The movies that he's written, apparently, are Four Christmases, Horrible Bosses, Identity Theft, and Baywatch.
Acting. I know I liked Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, acting credits. He was in Baywatch and he was in Horrible Bosses. And then the thing because I saw the name, I was like, that name sounds familiar. Then I was like, oh, am I thinking of someone else? No, I'm thinking of the right guy because this dude does documentaries.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, what? Because he's the dude that did A Fistful of Quarters.
Okay.
The King of Kong documentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, that's him. And then I was like, oh, okay, he also did Freakonomics. That's why I know this dude's name. I didn't realize that's the same dude that wrote Horrible Bosses.
That's weird.
So there's got to be more behind this movie because it just seems like this probably has a pretty long history of been trying to get made, is all I'm thinking. But
especially with very early directors.
Yeah, like in such big names. Like Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt, Daniel Radcliffe. What?
Yeah, right?
You know, The Office's Oscar Nunez. He was in The Office. He played Oscar, by the way, if you didn't know who that was.
I didn't know that. I watched The Office.
I have. I've seen every episode, or at least parts of them.
Good for you.
I slept through a lot of them, I'm going to lie to you. In different stages, not enough sleep of just watching the series. Was there anything else? No. So basically, from today, we're recording Thursday, December 6th, 17th. What is it? 16th. I don't know what fucking day it is. Anyways, as of recording right now, this episode will go up on the 17th, Friday, December 17th. That is. As of right now, I am gonna stop being on social media until I see Spider-Man.
That's a good idea.
I'm not gonna be on Twitter. I'm not gonna look up news. I scrolled through news trying to find stuff to talk about, but every time I saw anything that was Spider-Man related, I yeeted away. I was like, nah, don't spoil it. Just because I don't want anything to be ruined, and I've already seen. Nothing was spoilery. I've already seen videos up on YouTube like explaining the ending of Spider-Man, and I'm like, this movie isn't out for everybody, right? Like it's just now starting to play for people who aren't press or celebrities. So shut your fucking holes and wait until at least the following week before you release anything about it to give us time to fucking watch this.
Well, that's one thing I kept thinking about too, but I was thinking about it more in the sense of, and I'm probably wrong on this, But I would have thought that that Sony or Disney would have locked down reviews until after the actual theatrical release in most of the countries, most of the big countries. Because I don't know where it actually started. You know, I don't know if it starts in the U.S. or if it starts in UK or China or wherever. But I would have thought that they would have been like, no, you can't release any reviews until December 18th or 17th or something, whenever it actually releases
17th.
Worldwide. 17th. Yeah. That's what I would have thought. But there were literally reviews up 2 days ago.
Yeah, as of I think it was Wednesday, the IGNs went up. Or Tuesday.
Yeah.
One of those days I saw IGN's like, our review of Spider-Man's up. I'm like, fuck off, dude. Like, how
and
the
I was
fuck?
seeing articles the same that were like, No Way Home is over the top but awesome. And it's like, well, thanks. Like, I knew it would be over the top and awesome. But why are you writing an article about it 2 days before it's actually even released? You would have thought that there would have been some sort of
Embargo?
You know, you can't embargo. That's the word I'm looking for. Embargo until it actually releases worldwide, or at least mostly worldwide in all the big markets. You know, I don't know if they've done that in the past, but it just seems like it just hits you in the face with Spider-Man with this movie for some reason. That it just everywhere. YouTube was offering me stuff that like, hey, watch this. It's a review of the new Spider-Man movie. You know, and Apple News was sitting there like, hey, here's a review and you know, explaining how this fits into the rest of the Marvel Universe type thing. And it's like, whoa, I literally can't even go watch it right now.
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell me about it.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's like, bro, like, do you think your review is gonna make or break this movie? How about you fucking let people go watch it, dude? Like,
yeah,
get out of here. IGN of all places. Go back to video games. Nobody even likes your reviews there. You opinionated ass, editorial ass motherfuckers.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been on the IGN in probably about 15, 20 years or something like that.
The only reason I still have IGN subscribed on like anything is because they have news articles about games when they're coming out, and they're like the place to go. Like GameSpot used to be like the end-all be-all for like early access to stuff. And then the IGN's like, how about you go fuck yourselves, because guess what? Some of your dudes were accused of selling reviews because they were basically paid by publishers.
That was the Keenan Lynch whole debacle, right?
Yeah, yep, yeah. So that shit on GameSpot's reputation quite a bit. So IGN gets first look this, first look that. I'm like, yeah, but I hate them because they're all fucking stupid, and they're all like, oh, I'm gonna tell you my opinion. Nope, I don't care. I don't give two shits about your opinion because you're not me. So just give me news. And now they're just into spoiling shit all the time. Like, I was like, I got the reveal for Hawkeye ruined for me because IGN had a fucking thumbnail of it.
They put that up as a thumbnail?
Yeah, bro.
For episode 5, right?
Yeah.
They put that as a thumbnail?
Went up at 6 a.m. yesterday.
Burn that place to the ground,
Yeah,
dude.
bro.
Because having just watched episode 5, knowing what you're talking about right then and there, like they hinted at it heavily in the episode 4, and I even think episode 3.
3, yeah.
You know, about what you were going to get, but they literally show a picture in episode 5, and it's like it's a grainy picture. It is, but I'm pretty sure it is who I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, and I was like,
because I know you haven't watched episode 5, but like to have that spoiled for you, because it just happens at the end of the episode where it's just like, and so and so is meeting with so and so, and they show it, and I'm just like that was legit who I thought it was, right?
yeah.
And that's where where episode 5 ended. I was just like, oh, what? That was awesome. But not awesome for you because that sucked.
Like you can't, like, I couldn't even go and watch the episode yet at 6 a.m. in the morning because they don't start until like 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, or like whatever, 10 o'clock, whatever it happens to be. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, IGN? Really? Really?
You shouldn't do that. You don't do that. You look, okay, talk about it. Fine. Write an article about it. Fine. But don't include pictures, spoiler pictures.
I was like, fuck off, dude.
Like that. As your title thing, as your thumbnail of like why you should, here's a picture to show you why you should read this article. Don't do that picture. I'm sure that they titled it as well. In such a way that would tell you who it is.
Yeah, I don't remember if they. Let's see if I can. I'm on IGN's on Apple News to see if it pulls up. Try not to read a whole lot of stuff because I know there's Spider-Man stuff showing up here, so I'm not reading anything. I don't see it on here. It might have just been on the YouTube or whatever. So much stuff. Yeah, I don't know where it would be at on here. But yeah, they show a picture and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Why would you do this to me? I know it's gonna be on here somewhere, but anyhow, I was just fucking like, why? Why would you do all this all of a sudden? Like, just have this on here. Why not just wait for people to fucking be able to see it? You know what I mean?
Or like I said, just you can write the article. Just if you're going to include a picture, don't include a spoiler picture. You know,
Spider-Man No Way From Home review posted on IGN 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Bruh, 2 days ago, you couldn't even see the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Unless you went to the premiere. So, how about you go fuck off and die?
Yeah, that's so wrong.
Where the hell is this fucking video? I'm trying to find it so I can look at it and make sure. I may not read the title just in case we're spoiling anything for everybody. I don't see it on here. All I know is I saw it and I was like, are you fucking... I could have swore it was IGN that did it. I could be wrong about that. It was somebody that I subscribed to and I was like, you are fucking killing me right now. I hate you and I hope you die. Hope you catch a disease they can't diagnose but have a cure for. That's what I want in your life.
Okay.
I don't know where it's at. It's been a long time. Anyways, I saw it and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then this morning, or last night at fucking 11 o'clock, Taj texts me outside the group chat just directly and he says, he's here! ! Exclamation mark.
Good going, Taj, well.
And I was like, question mark, this morning, and he finally goes back, oh, you haven't watched Hawkeye yet? No. Because I fucking have a life. And I was like, if you're going to spoil this, this, and this, he's like, oh, I guess so. I'm like, yeah, I already got ruined on fucking YouTube for me. Thank you very much. Anyhow.
Well, this is why you stay off social media, kids.
Fucking like apparently.
Me. Stay off social media, and you won't get things ruined for you like this. No one needs social media. We got along without it beforehand.
So we definitely
don't
need it.
The world would be a better place without Facebook and probably Twitter as well.
Yeah, it's pretty just generally toxic and normal anyways. And a lot of people are getting off of like Twitter completely because of how fucking asinine people are. They are they're remaking Splinter Cell, by the way.
Okay, the original one, yeah, I saw that. I can't remember what company is actually, what development company is actually getting it. I watched something about that earlier today. I just want a new game. I don't want look, we're running a little long here, but this will be probably the last thing I say. I'm not the type of person at all. Once I beat a game, a single player game, I don't go back to it. I don't replay it. I don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I'm not an achievement hunter. I know the story. If I miss something, oh well, I'll go watch it on YouTube. As I said earlier with the Halo Infinite and the Legendary ending. So for me, I do not care for remakes, for what's the other term that they use for them?
Reboots.
Reboots, stuff like that. I don't care. Just give me a new good game in the series. Is that too hard to ask? Obviously, you think there's a market for it because you wouldn't be remaking the original if there wasn't. Just give me a new one. Because it's been almost 10 years? 6 years?
Yeah, something stupid. So it says here,
It's the last one.
Ubisoft has announced it has greenlit the development of a remake of its stealth classic Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Announced on Ubisoft's website, the remake will be developed by lead studio Ubisoft Toronto, developer of the Splinter Cell Blacklist. It will be built from the ground up using the Snowdrop engine, which is the tech behind being used for the Division games, the upcoming Avatar Frontiers of Pandora game, and Ubisoft's yet-to-be-titled Star Wars game. And I believe it's from the team that made Far Cry 6. If I remember seeing...
Look, if this is literally just kind of a... look, we want to take the Splinter Cell games, they've gotten old. If this is literally just like, we need to wipe the slate clean and start from fresh again, I'll be okay with that.
That's what it seems like. It's not a remaster.
But it's still just like, there's enough wiggle room to me for them to just be like, oh no, it's just like we're gonna update we're gonna take the original game and we're just gonna update the graphics and stuff.
It says right here. So in an interview posted to Ubisoft website, producer Matt West said, "I think it kind of has to be a remake as opposed to a remaster. Although we're still in the very earliest stages of development, what we're trying to do is make sure the spirit of the early games remains intact in all the ways that gave early Splinter Cells its identity."
And see, that's exactly the thing. Like, it sounds like it could be a retooling of the game, a reboot of the game series. It's an old game series. They don't want to continue the Sam Fisher as we know him right now. They've already switched voice actors in the last game because Michael Ironsides, I don't think they just didn't ask him if he wanted to do the voice again for Sam Fisher, and so they got somebody else to do it. So we're kind of in that, like, we want to try and figure out something new to do with this character. If they literally just wipe the slate clean and say, hey, we are going to reintroduce Splinter Cell, more modern Splinter Cell, obviously better graphics, blah blah blah, but it's not a remake of the original game. Fine, that's awesome. But also, I don't want them to just be like, reboot the game, and I guess I don't want them to continue the series, but like change it even more, like they kind of did with the last game as well, where you had like the first-person shooter section of things, and you had Sam's section of things, like in the same universe, but not Sam Fisher. So if they're just totally going back to the drawing board and saying, we're just going to wipe everything clean, those games were those games, they don't mean anything to this anymore, we're going to actually fully remake the game, it's still going to be Sam Fisher, it's just a new thing for them, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But that statement right there just sounds like they're going to take the original game, update the graphics to it, maybe update some of the gameplay, but then release that.
No, because it says
essentially the original game,
It says
but it's an updated version of the original game.
No, well, I mean, I don't know about the original game. It's not remastered, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you started out fine, but then then he starts to waffle back and forth, and it's just like, do you even know what you're going to be making? I don't know.
Because it does state that they're well, the words that's used here says it will be built from the ground up using the Snowdrop engine. So they're not just remastering it, but
no,
later
they're not remastering it. But you're just giving me the original game. It's going to be prettier, yes, but it's the same story. I've already played it.
Well, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I don't know what they're going to do with the story.
Give me something new. Either continue the series or wipe the slate clean and give me something new. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a lot
That's
of
all I'm trying to say. And it still sounds like he's just waffling back and forth between whether it's going to be a remake of the original one, where it's just basically going to be updating all the graphics and whatnot, but it's going to be the same story. Or it could be a new story and a new series. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, in this article, they keep talking about the spirit of the early games, not anything else. Part of keeping that remake true to the series identity is that it will be a linear game and not an open world akin to many of the other Ubisoft games. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, they don't say this is. I mean, the way I'm reading this, or what I'm reading in this, is they're so early in production of this that they should have announced it, because they give you no actual solid info other than the fact that they want to make it a stealth purist's game like the originals, to play through the adventure. What they say, the Splinter Cell's creative director said they're very aware that what makes classic Splinter Cell what it is. Blah 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 blah. They don't have any actual details in this. They just keep saying that it's not a remake or a remaster. It's a remake because it's a property that already exists.
I suppose we'll see. And you're right. If it is that early in production, they probably shouldn't have announced it, because it sounds like they don't even 100% know exactly what it is. And there's a good chance that they're just going to axe it if they can't figure it out.
Yeah. So, I mean, who fucking knows? There's in this, nowhere in this do they say a release window or what it's going to be. They just say, this is what's happening so far with it and what we're looking at doing. That's it. There's nothing else in here. They are strategically staying away from the word they remaster, and they keep using the word this remake, and it's because it's an already existing property. But they're not, I think they're using that term because they're not saying it's a continuation of anything. It's literally just we're starting from the beginning again and making it with new technology. That's all it says.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully it'll be something that I will enjoy, because I played every single game in that series, and I enjoyed, for the most part, every game in that series. Yeah.
Did you watch the trailer for Alan Wake 2?
I did.
Holy shit.
It looks pretty good, and I like how the studio behind it, Remedy, was like, this is our first horror game, and apparently they didn't consider the first game a horror game at all. It was just like an action-adventure type game.
Suspense thriller, or suspense action thriller is what they said.
Suspense thriller or something like that. Yeah, but they didn't consider it a horror game at all. So they're like, this is our first horror game. So I thought that was funny. I watched it last week, I think, sometime. So it's not quite fresh in my mind, but it's Alan Wake. I've been waiting for this sequel since the first one came out, and I beat the first one, and I loved the first one. I shouldn't say I never played through the DLC for it. I am literally halfway through, or a third of the way through American Nightmare right now on Game Pass. I stopped playing it because Halo kind of got in the way. But yeah, it's been another thing that's like 10 years in the making. And the fact that you got like little bits of stuff when you played Control and how that ties into the whole universe. Yeah, I can't wait at all for that.
Yeah. That's all I got. Sound good?
That's it for me. Yep.
What? What'd you say?
That's it for me.
Cool. We'll just do what we normally do. Comes naturally. We are
Joe.
I have been Cody. This has been this week's episode, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Bye.